The original Halloween, 1978. Just rewatched it the other night, and it's the spooky season, so let's talk about it a little bit. Just some thoughts. Let's get into it. All right, you guys. What's going on? It's D here, MKD58 Media, and like the intro suggests, I'm talking about the original Halloween, 1978. I just rewatched it the other night, and it's the Halloween season, it's the spooky season, so kind of wanted to, do this thing where I'm watching a few horror movies this month. I'm not gonna do the 31 days thing, but I will try to get a few more than normal in this month to kind of get into the season. So and the first thing I wanted to start off with was the original Halloween. It just made sense to start out that way, and we went for it. Watched it the other night on demand. So it's not, in full disclosure, I got my little backup device here that I basically just use for memos and stuff, for notes and stuff. There's a few, I jotted down a few things that I just wanted to make sure that I talked about in this video. But we did, we ordered it on demand, so I think it might have been a little edited, but that movie wasn't very graphic in the first place. It really didn't have graphic anything that I remember. It didn't have graphic, no vulgar language, didn't have any graphic sex, and there was no, no nudity, no gore, anything like that. It was really just, somebody murdering people, but there was nothing graphic visually. It was just adult themes, as they say. So I don't think it was that edited. But yeah, still a classic. Full disclosure, this is water. I'm drinking water. I promise you it's water. It's just that, fucking, you get thirsty trying to do all this talking and shit. So, yeah, it's a classic film. It's can be dated in certain parts, but that's forgivable just because it was made in 1978. I mean, you make something in 1978, at some point it's gonna look like it was made in 1978 or feel like it was made in 1978. But with that being said, it's still a noticeably well-made film. Even with some of the sillier kind of goofy things that come with age, with that stuff notwithstanding, it's still obviously like a quality movie. Directed by John Carpenter, who also did the iconic movie score for the film. It's just it's so iconic that I think we kind of almost forget how like good and important it actually is. Like sometimes something can be so iconic that it becomes almost like a spoof of itself. Like you kind of, some people might kind of giggle a little bit when they hear that music start up, just because it's, we've heard it so much, but it's a really, really good movie score. Side note, The Fog, they have that's a good movie score as well. I've always liked the movie score for The Fog. It's another old horror movie. So, but a few things I wanted to talk about, as far as if I was going to say anything that I noticed as far as negatives. I noticed this the very first time I saw the film too, and didn't like it. I didn't like if you haven't seen the film, I can't imagine somebody not seeing the film. If you haven't seen the original Halloween, 1978, don't watch. You probably shouldn't finish this video, because I'm going to talk about what comes to mind about what happens into it, with reckless abandon. So there will be spoilers. It feels weird saying that about an old ass movie, spoilers, but yes, there will be spoilers. But when his mask comes off, excuse me, bumping the camera and shit, when he takes his mask off, I didn't like that. Even when I first saw the film back in the day, I felt that way. Like if you're gonna have him remove his mask, there should be something dramatic visually, for me. There was no feeling. When he took his mask off, there was no, increased fear. There was no shock, no horror. He looked like a college football player or something, or a college quarterback or something. My girl said no, he had he looked fucked up here. He looked kind of like he had something going on or whatever, but I didn't see it. Like, he looked like just a dude. He looked like a bro. Like, he really did. That's the perfect word for what he looked like. He looked like a bro when his mask came off. So in my opinion, they shouldn't have even had they shouldn't have covered up the mic. They shouldn't have even have had his mask come off. Like, they should have left it, at least for the first movie. Just leave it on the whole time. We'll never see his face. The unknown is scary anyways, so that would have been the unknown. We don't even know what he looks like under the mask. Is he stabbing people? He could be disfigured, because, when you don't see what's there, your imagination creates the monster. And that's what, that's why certain books can be so scary. Even though there's no pictures, it's because your imagination can create the most horrifying things possible. You know what I mean? So, especially after a certain age, when you've seen so much stuff that your mind can just take different parts of horrible things and put them together to create something new and horrible. Anyways, so my point being is they should have left the mask on him, at least for the first one. And if you're gonna take the mask off, give us something under that mask. All they gave us was just a regular fucking face, and that kind of annoyed me, and still annoys me about that. But other than that, it's a good movie. Anything else? Oh, okay. This is just observational stuff. So we're watching it, and okay, the movie is set in Illinois, right? So we're watching the movie, and I'm like, okay, I see some lockers at the high school. There's some lockers that are outside. And I was like, huh. And then later on in the movie, at one point a character has to wash something. And so she has to walk outside and, walk across the backyard to another building in the back where the laundry and, the washing machine and dryer are, and do the line. So to go wash, she has to walk outside. So I was like, huh. I was like, okay, this couldn't have been filmed in a cold, this might have been set in Illinois, but this sure wasn't shot in Illinois. This is some California type stuff we got going on. And then sure enough, do some Wikipedia research. The movie is set in Illinois, but it was shot in Pasadena. So I was like, oh, okay. That makes sense, because I'm like, I know it gets cold. The weather in Illinois is pretty much like the weather here. And I'm like, it gets cold here. Ain't nobody having no situation where they gotta walk to, if they have a house, nobody's having a situation where they gotta walk outside, to a back house, a casita in the back where the laundry, just to do laundry, with 12 inches of snow and all. But anyway, so when we were watching that kind of stood out to me. And, as I try my hand more at trying to film stuff and get involved in being creative and putting stuff on camera and things like that, I find myself looking at different things in films, looking in the background and kind of paying attention to how things were made, how things were done, how things were shot, the camera positioning and just stuff like that. And so I was noticing that in the first time I watched the movie, years ago, I never even paid attention to the fact that some of that stuff was outside and the movie was supposed to be set in Illinois. It just never crossed my mind. But yeah, so I thought that was kind of an interesting thing. Yeah, so that's it for those special notes. There were a few other things on there, but I want to keep this video a little bit shorter, so I won't even touch on those. I have no final rating for this film. This is more just I wanted to watch it and just see what I thought of it after watching it in full. It had been a long time since I had watched it in totality from beginning to end. And final thoughts on it, it's still a classic. It's a really well-made film. It holds up. It's one of those, it's definitely recommended if you're into the horror genre, if you're into the slasher genre and you haven't seen this, I think you should see it. It's just it's almost like knowing, if you're into horror movies, it's like knowing your history. You gotta you know, there's certain ones you gotta catch, and I'm guilty of. There's quite a few that I haven't caught, but there are quite a few that I have, and it's like Halloween is one where it's kind of like you gotta catch that, man. You can't say you're into slashers but then say you haven't seen the original Halloween. That's goofy. And beyond the first Halloween, I did see Halloween 2. The second Halloween, and I saw H2O, and I tried watching, I think it was a Rob Zombie remake, but I just couldn't get into it. I'll leave it at that, though. I couldn't get into it. And Halloween 3 I didn't watch just because when I tried watching it, it was obvious it wasn't really on the Michael Myers vibe. They were trying to do something different. I think they were trying to do some like anthology style thing with that. And really, in retrospect, maybe I should give Halloween 3 a chance, because at the time I tried watching Halloween 3 going into it with the mind state of thinking, okay, this is going to be more Michael Myers, you know, strolling around, you know, looking for people and stuff like that. So if you go in with that expectation, you're gonna be kind of disappointed, and that, I think that's what happened. So maybe if I go back and try to watch Halloween 3, I might actually like it, because I know what it's not. So I'll be able to appreciate it better. But we'll see. But those are, and then the new Halloween that's coming out, I plan on seeing that. But as far as like, you know, Halloween, 4, 5, and I think they did a sixth one and all that, like I haven't seen those. I've seen more Friday the 13th movies than I have Halloween movies, and that's not to say that those movies are better, but I've seen them more. They came on TV way more back in the day. When we first got cable, TNT late at night would play a whole lot of Friday the 13th. So I've seen way more of those movies. But yeah, so check out Halloween 1978. It's a good movie. Something great for your holiday Halloween season. Gonna be doing some more scary movie videos coming up. I want to make another Halloween horror type scary movie, but I don't know if I really got the time to do it, because I don't want to rush it. But I would like it to be done kind of for, you know, by the end of the month. I want it to be kind of a part of the Halloween celebration. But if I can't do it the way I want to do it, I'm not going to try to rush it. Because the last time I tried to do a short film, even though it took me a while to do it, there were parts that were rushed, and it's just like, I don't want to do that. Sometimes there's certain things you don't want to have to rush because you want to do it right. So, but there's going to be some more Halloween themed videos coming, and then just other videos too. So thanks a lot for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Hey, what are some of do you have any suggestions for horror movies, slashers? I've been doing a lot of reading, a lot of watching as far as reviews, reactions, and just people's opinions on some of the horror movies that are out there. So there's been a lot that I've already seen floating around in the air. You know, Suspiria. I think I'm pronouncing it right. It's a classic horror movie that I think they're working on getting a remake of. But I remember hearing about the original back in the day and thinking, you know, that might be something interesting to check out. So there's that. There's a whole lot of stuff out there. I'm not about to sit up here and brainstorm on camera, but hey, thanks a lot for watching. I'm gonna let you go because I'm sure you're ready to go. Take care.